Let this room fill up a little bit. Jacer, what's going on? This is weird. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the last one to be in front of the camera and stuff, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. There she is. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is gonna be fun.
Nice to finally meet you.
I know.
I
I've been tuning into your streams a couple months ago. I like what you're doing.
know. I appreciate the support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But everybody, this is Amanda, goes by AsianBabyTrader on YouTube. Later in the discussion, I'll share her YouTube channel in the chat room. If you have any questions for her, if you want to chat it up. If you could, just go ahead, like introduce yourself. What's your trading style? How long have you been trading? What's been up with you?
So I think like a lot of us, I started trading in 2020, like pandemic, remote working. I went to college, didn't use my degree, just 9 to 5 didn't really suit me. So trading for about like 4 years now, but I started with options, stocks, and then I moved to crypto. And then now I've been trading futures for about 7 months now. And I've been really liking it. I found ICT in I think like 2022, 2023, maybe. And then started finding that things were making sense with like liquidity, imbalances, and yeah. And then I trade with Top Step now. Really like the idea of prop firms, but I do think that there is some stuff you have to figure out. It's not necessarily like, oh, you have free money to trade with. So yeah, and then I started documenting my journey with futures on YouTube in December of last year, I think, maybe a little earlier. But yeah.
So we've had Shy, if you don't mind me putting your business out there. She did share it in the group Discord, but a while ago she deleted her social media, saying that it was a bit of a distraction. And she was in other Discord groups as well. And she mentioned that so many opinions, so much going on in these Discord groups, it's kind of like overwhelming and it's too much. So in the Discord, she shared with us that she left the servers, deleted social media, kind of went off the radar, and kind of just focusing on herself and on her trading. And I've noticed you took a break from YouTube, right? And what better time to have you on here when the theme of the week has kind of been focusing on yourself and on your trading. And you disappeared for a little bit, for about a couple months. You weren't live streaming, weren't posting, and then you came out and shared that you were still trading. Ended up getting, was it like 1,500 from Top Step, a payout, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats on that. So
my first payout. So
yeah, that's awesome. Congrats. But you said you only been trading for what, like 7 months? You said ish.
futures has been 7 months.
Yeah.
So like Top Step prop firms.
Okay. So still early.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought it would be cool to have you on because I know you've taken a break from YouTube and you've kind of just been trading on your own and it's done you well. So can you kind of just explain first, like, why did you take a break from YouTube? And I know you live stream and, show your trades publicly and you have an audience and all that. So, why did you take that break from YouTube? Did that help you in any way? Can you kind of just like explain that?
So originally I just had like personal things going on. Um, and I thought, I made this commitment to live stream my trades. I have followers and stuff like that. So I tried to push through. If you guys saw like my last live streams, I was pretty sick. But I was thinking like, oh no, I got to keep this up, go, go, go mentality. Um, because I was finding traction and monetization with building a following. So it's pretty incentivizing. It's pretty um, like you want to keep it going. But I think I started doing that and started to lose myself a bit, and I was sort of starting to doubt myself because with YouTube, um, everyone shares their opinion and everyone has a different trading style. And um, just even having people watch you trade, it's a lot. And not even just live streaming, but documenting after and like, oh, these are the trades I took. This is how much I made. You just feel like you have to perform, I guess. And so I took a step back and I realized, like, why did I start this in the first place? I started this in the first place to document my journey to become a trader, like a full-time trader, not a YouTuber. But everyone does it. And like I said, it is lucrative if you build that following. Um, but I think just for myself, I realized my why was that, like, I've had I started on this sort of self-help journey because my health wasn't that good. And um, I stopped working in the pandemic because it was stressful and I really just wanted to focus on myself. And that's why I started trading so that I could work like X amount of like make my own hours and spend the rest of my day working on myself. If you guys listen to Luke Belmar, he says it's like a side quest, just building health, um, learning, and all that stuff. So when I took a step back, I basically said, okay, I'm just going to focus on myself, no comparing, because I also did find myself comparing to other influencers or like, I guess being hard on myself, like, oh, look, they did this much. How come you're not doing more? But I think it's just to each their own and what you want. And it's not to say your success is lesser than, it's just what's for you.
Yeah. So what are your
Yeah.
obviously you've done well like off camera trading on your own, and I agree with everything, live streaming, trading just with an audience. And I feel like we've talked about this in the past in past discussions, but trading I feel like is meant to be a personal endeavor, like, but we've turned it into this kind of like social status where you have to document everything, you have to show this, you have to show that, you have to show your payouts, and there's like that level of expectation and pressure that comes with it that we kind of put on ourselves as YouTubers, as creators and all that. But there is fun in it, having an audience, having, people watch and cheer you on, but there is also obviously the critics and the pressure that comes with trading and losing money in front of people when that in my opinion should be a personal thing. So most respect to you and all the other live streamers who trade, because
You too as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know if I could do YouTube because I like having a private group community where it's just more controlled. But YouTube, you have people joining in from everywhere and everybody's kind of pitching in their 2 cents. Like I've watched your live streams and I'm in your chat room and everybody's just throwing in their opinions. Like you'll win a trade, everybody's cheering you on, good stuff. And then you take a loss and all of a sudden everybody has something to say about how you can improve, what you could have done better. And it's like, man, just like let her trade. It was a losing trade. So it's definitely, um, I can see why you took a break. So is your plan to like, are you not coming back to YouTube? Or are you just slowing up on the content? Do you plan on returning, or what's your plans with YouTube?
Um, so I'm trying to find a balance because it can be passive income and I would like that. But first and foremost, I want to do what's going to be best for myself. So I'm focusing on finding profitability first with my first source of income, and then I can consider passive income with YouTube or any other social platform. And I was like playing around with the idea of either just going back to just showing my trades for the day, or even more like personal, where it's like day in the life and showing a little bit more of the spiritual and health and wellness part of my life as well. But I did want to touch on something that you said earlier. It's like why we start YouTube in the first place or any sort of social media. I think trading is sort of an isolating career path, I guess, or if not everyone trades and you're usually, like you said, doing it alone. So I see why at least I went to social media because it's like you have friends and there's people that like the same stuff that you like.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think it is a double-edged sword because people are sharing, and I did learn a lot. Like I learned like silver bullet from you. I didn't know that, or like I learned about macros from other people, just other stuff that helps you build. But if you aren't sure on what you're doing, it can get very overwhelming and convoluted. Like especially with IZT, like I think once I did the mentorship, it was like I stopped, but he adds on so much and so much. And so I think, yeah, you really have to just find what works for you and stick with it and sort of block out the noise. I know like it's so hard with all the social media platforms and stuff, but yeah, I try to just do my work and then I can go and look at social media and after, basically.
So I agree with what you said about the double-edged sword and having a community. It's definitely, I get comments all the time when we have these kind of Friday discussions about how it's not common to have a community where you can just come out and talk about personal things outside of the market. Because what you said, it is true. Like it's very isolating trading. You can't go to your brother or your sister or your mom and talk about this industry. They don't understand. You can't tell them I'm in drawdown, I'm battling this, I'm battling with my psychology. They're gonna look at you crazy like you're battling with psychology. What does that even mean? So it's important, I feel like, to have a community on social media, YouTube, Discord, or whatever, whoever, you can talk to and reach out because honestly, we're the only people who really understand what it feels like to lose money in this industry, to go through drawdown, all the emotions that just come with trading. We can't really express that. We can't share that with other people who aren't in this industry. So it is important to have a community. It's a double-edged sword, like you said. It's a lot of stuff that comes with it, a lot of toxicity, a lot of social comparing egos and all this stuff. And then, like you said, just the information out there is abundant. Like there's so many distractions, so much going on. If you're really not in tune with yourself, you can get really lost. Jacer says, I want to start a YouTube channel, but what should I expect on the negative side? What would you recommend for somebody looking to start a trading YouTube channel?
I mean, just do it, start it. I think, at least for myself, I used to be a perfectionist where it's like, oh, I have to have the camera, I have to be profitable first, I have to all these X, Y, and Z's that should be done before. But what I needed to work on was literally just get out of the parking lot. Like we're worrying about all these scenarios of like hate comments or what if no one watches or like all of that, like deal with it when it comes. We don't have to worst case scenario. And I think just see how it goes. Don't expect too much because I think a lot of times we have an idea of how things should be. And then when it's not like that or the timeline doesn't match up, then we get discouraged. But I think you just got to focus. It's like trading. You just got to take it one step at a time, focus on base hits, and, eventually you can scale up.
That's really good advice. Jacer, take notes. She has a great YouTube channel, by the way. I'm going to share your link in the chat room so they can check you out. Are you more in favor of social media? What are your thoughts? Is social media more beneficial to you than harm, or is it vice versa?
I mean, I think it's different for every type of like level of trader, I guess, because at least when I was first beginning, I learned everything that I know from social media. So I think in the beginning, if you're a beginner, I would just absorb everything you can, learn everything you can. And when you find something that works, like dive into that and focus on that, and start back testing, like just keep your head down and study, basically. And then I think, obviously, I would say that I came into social media maybe like intermediate, and I think it helped me learn a little bit more, but it did get overwhelming at some point. So maybe I'm not really sure if I was ready to or not, but I think it did help me in a lot of ways, and it leveled me up. And I do plan on coming back when I am maybe more like maybe a professional trader, I guess. Maybe I'll come back and do the documenting as well, because I do think it is relatable. Um, but yeah, I'd probably just stay on the extremes and say, if you're a beginner, probably just learn as much as you can from in other like teachers or influencers. Maybe even like just talk to people in the comments, and then um, later, when you're ready, I guess I would say when you have a solid strategy that is profitable, and like you're stuck on that, like maybe you can go and try social media. But I think also, if you've just been like wanting to do it, just do it. Yeah.
If honestly, if it wasn't for trading and if it wasn't for like business things, I wouldn't be on social media. I think it's more draining. A lot of it does have to do with comparing. Like you see so many people getting, and it's not like you're hating on them, like you want everybody to succeed. It's inspiring, but you see people getting $50,000 payouts, $100,000 payouts, and withdrawals, and they're doing all these great things, which is awesome. Like that's like God bless them. But in your earlier years of trading, when you're not where you want to be and you're still trying to seek profitability, you're still looking for that first payout, you're still looking, for your model and this and that. If you're browsing social media and all you see is people just getting five-figure payouts and they're doing this, they're quitting a job doing this, half of that is motivation. You can use that to, fuel you. But there's also another side of that where it's kind of like it can be draining because you're not there yet. And then you start comparing yourself, you start questioning yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not there yet? When in reality, your time just hasn't come yet. Like you're still young, you're still learning. Those people who are doing great things with prop firms and they have millions of dollars in funding and all those things, they've been doing it for a while. And I'm sure they've blown a lot of accounts, lost a lot of money like we all have. So, and we all know how social media is when things don't really appear how they actually are in real life. A lot of people, but that's a whole nother discussion. I want to flip more to like psychology because you're really honest on your YouTube, which is awesome. I love that about you. Your struggles, your ups and downs, highs and lows, you're very transparent on your YouTube channel. And honestly, like I don't even know if I can do that because if I'm going through some serious drawdown or struggles in trading, I'm more of like I need to cut the cameras off and just like dig in, study, and like focus on my own. I don't know if I can actually come out in front of an audience like yourself and talk about the things that I'm struggling with. And then not only that, you're dealing with feedback from hundreds of people who are like pitching in their 2 cents. So when it comes to just like your psychology, do you find that helpful, like sharing publicly your struggles when you're in drawdown or you're in a losing trade or you lose a funded account or you lose a combine? Do you find that helpful sharing with other people? What is that like for you?
I guess in the beginning, I enjoyed it because you literally get to it's not even talking to people over the internet, it's talking to yourself, because I would record it after the trading day ended. And then I would just be talking through to myself, like, okay, what trade did we take? What happened? Trying to digest everything. So, in that sense, I think it was good. And I think recording your trades too, or I know TradeZella, you can like look back at your trades. Um, but it was just helpful. It's basically a different way to journal, because I know you do like the like handwritten journaling, but I've never really like liked to write stuff down. I'm more of like I like to talk, and that's how I guess I process things. So I think it helped. Um I think when you turn on a camera and you just start talking to yourself, it's just a different it's different. Everyone should try it, I guess. Like you don't even have to post it.
Interesting.
Just like venting, I guess, in a way.
Right. I'll get into a little bit more technical since we are traders. What is your trading strategy or just your method? I know you implement ICT concepts. Do you have like a specific model or just something you look for when you look to enter your trades? Just give people an idea of how you trade exactly.
So I trade like ICT's 2022 mentorship, I would say. And I guess that's sort of what got basically that's what I would say on my YouTube channel. And I think everyone is like if you trade ICT or you're like a diehard ICT trader, you're like, okay, you do ICT's like 2022 model, so you need liquidity, the impulse, fair value gap, and you're targeting like the next high, I guess. But I think as a trader after like 4 years, I've just implemented other things and sort of made my own. It's exactly like trading is. It's just whatever works for you. And so I think while I do trade 2022's model, um, I have other things like other nuances that I put in there for myself and that everyone might not understand if they're just black and white 2022 model. So, I mean, in short, that's what I trade. I basically wait for a 15-minute liquidity grab and then I wait for the impulse and look for a continuation. That's also another thing. I used to try to do reversals or front run it so you get a bigger move, but I realized that it's more probable to just wait. You might get a little bit shorter of a like profit target, but it's you're not going to be in drawdown or you're not going to be like taken out immediately. Um, so yeah, I focus more just on continuation, I guess. Like I realized looking back, like I would try to be Michael Burry and like short the short the tops and buy the bottoms, but I realized like I just need to stick to what I learned in the beginning and what worked for me in the beginning, which was the 22 model. So basically waiting for that impulse, the confirmation that we have shifted market structure. And then I'll go in on like a fair value gap, but I sort of started honestly just doing market orders now
Mm.
because I think with fair value gaps or whatever, like order blocks, whatever you want to use. When I was waiting for the PDO rate to hit, sometimes it wouldn't hit, and I would want that like to the tick. And if I didn't get it and it'd run without me, then I'm like, I'd have FOMO and all this stuff. But so now it's like I said, there's just little nuances. So I'll have certain like maybe candlestick patterns or something um, that I'll see, and then I'll just mark it in. But like to keep it simple, it's really just the 22 model with the liquidity grab, the impulse, and then join in on that. And then targeting the other like buy side or sell side the further. I am working on like either taking it at like a certain point or letting it run. Also working up with like scaling contract sizes. So all of this stuff I'm still working on, but what got me to my first payout was just focusing on the base hits. So I'd take like 5-10 handles on like ES or like 25 points on NQ and like being satisfied with that. And I use Top Steps lockout button. So that helps because I was realizing that I was giving back a lot of profits. But yeah, so I'm still learning, but those are some things that worked for me.
That's cool. Yeah, we're talking about so you're using Top Step X's platform. I've heard good things about it. I've heard it was really smooth, and then the lockout feature as well. I know some traders, I think they're funded with Top Step and they're using the same thing. That's awesome, and that's huge. You mentioned taking base hits and just easy targets, simple 1-to-1 risk reward, 2-to-1 risk reward. And I feel like there's a misconception out there that you have to catch majority of the daily range, or you have to catch 100 handles in NQ to be profitable, or you need some crazy risk to reward. When at the end of the day, if you can consistently catch a 1-to-1, or if you can pull 5 handles out of ES, 10 handles, 25 handles out of NQ, you can get a payout. It's just a matter of if you're doing that consistently. And then also you have emotions combined with that, controlling yourself, using the lockout feature, knowing when to stop. Um, is huge. There's a lot of people in this Discord, they'll catch a winning setup and I'm assuming they're done for the day and they're still trading and they're still trading and they're still trading. Sometimes they'll keep winning, keep winning. They get a win and they trade again. It's like you have to know when to stop. So base hits, controlling your emotions, knowing when to stop trading will get you a payout, which is congratulations again. That's awesome. But
Thanks.
I'm gonna open up the floor a little bit for the chat room for questions, comments. Shy ass, do you document your emotions?
Um, Not so much. In the beginning of my, like, I guess, trading journey or futures journey, like 7 months ago, I was really focusing on the emotions of trading, and now I'm sort of just focusing on the technicals. So I'll just, instead of going over the emotions I was feeling for the day, I just go over the trades. What was the technicals? Like, how was the entry? How much drawdown was there? I'm trying to figure out, like, how much profit or how much room there was of the run. How much did I get from that? Like, if I held, it's more so looking at those stats just so I can work on scaling now. But I think if you're in the beginning of it, yeah, emotions are pretty big. And I really liked the Mental Game of Trading book that helped with that. But yeah, now I think the last thing of the emotions was the base hits. Because like I said, I was comparing and like people would have like 10 times what I did or whatever. But I think if you're just focusing on profitability, like just focus on profitability because a lot of times I would rack up something and then I'd blow the account before I can even get a payout. So yeah, right now I'm just focusing on the technicals more so, but I do think that emotions are important and it just depends on where you are in your journey and what you're struggling with or working on.
That's really good. Yeah, journaling is huge.
I like to add in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, hey, um, I just wanted to say that holding yourself accountable and discipline when catching that winning trade and being satisfied, it really does make you better as a trader. And cutting down your setups to maybe 3 to 2 a week, it really helps with the psychology of just making yourself accountable for finding a good setup. And that's all you need. And once you get comfortable with doing those setups, all you need is 1 to 2 good trades a week, and you add a little bit of contracts, and you're doing well. Even with a 1 to 2 reward, I mean, your next, say you win one trade, and the next day you lose one, you still have another trade within that last trade you took that's still profitable. It only takes one trade away.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. And Colton, because you're in the live streams and you've been in the Discord for a while. And everybody says like there's a popular saying every day is a trading day. Every day is not a trading day. We've seen market conditions where, in my opinion, nobody should be pressing a button at all. The market's really just moving sideways. But yet people are, 5, 6 trades in, and I try to be like a good example in showing people that all you really need is just one trade a week, really. And that trade may not come until Friday. That's when you have to practice discipline, patience. I've had, a lot of weeks where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't find any setups, or it may be like a break even. Thursday, I may not be trading because it's non-farm payroll week. I don't trade Thursdays of NFP week. So now, okay, it's Friday. I've made no money this week. I'm break even, or I just haven't taken any trades at all. Most people, they may want to force a setup on Friday just so they can get something out of it. But just having the understanding that one trade a week is all you need, 10 handles a week, 5 handles in ES, 50 points in the NASDAQ, whatever it is, like that's more than enough. So,
It took me,
yeah, no, go ahead. You got it.
my bad. It took me, so I'm about 9 months in with live trading, and I had done like 6 months of back testing and demo trading. And I think it took me till about last month till I realized like I've lost so much money being undisciplined and getting my butt whooped so many times that it's gotten to a point where I have this shift in mindset of understanding like being absolutely okay with not trading as much because commissions cost once you go into live data and like live market conditions, bro, commissions cost. And once you learn that, you start to change your way do you see the market into only one to take 1 to 2 trades. And it's a better feeling, doing that than taking 20 trades a day because it hurts, man.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I'm just kind of over that hill of kind of getting control of my emotions because I know what it's like your when you let your emotions control your trading. It's not how you become profitable or have a good week because you really can go under quick. You have to really control yourself and understand these parts of your trading that you're going to unravel yourself and you can go down blowing an account or taking too many trades and not following your rules and understanding those points of where you can break. You have to shut off the trading desk. You have to log out. You have to figure out ways to cope with those breaking points because that's what makes us not profitable is our human emotions and our impulses will just completely set us way back, way back.
That's real. But I mean, there's no better feeling knowing that you can make a career, make a good, like if your goal is to get payouts from Top Step or if you're trading your own personal funds, there's no better feeling than knowing that you can only take one trade a week and that's all you need. Like that's all you need. So you can go, half the week without taking a trade or whatever the case may be. But if you're disciplined enough to understand that all I need is one setup, and that setup can come Friday in the PM session, final hour trading on Friday. If that setup hits, like I'm done for the week and I've met my objectives. Over trading, like that gets but we all go through that, when we first start off, like over trading. I remember I used to trade, well, when I was trading Forex, I used to trade like 50 Forex pairs and I would be trading for like 4 hours in front of my screen. I wouldn't get up from my desk. And, I'm taking 6, 7 trades a day. Like we've all been there. I used to think more is better. I remember when I was with FTMO, and I wasn't profitable. I was trading like supply and demand or some other crap. No offense to anybody who trades that, but when I was with FTMO, I thought more was better, so I would trade more sessions. So I would trade the London session, which was in my time zone, like 3 a.m. to like 6 a.m. or something like that, and then I would trade the New York session from like 8 a.m. to like 11. So that's like 6 hours trading, and I wasn't profitable. But my opinion is, okay, FTMO, I need to make 10%. So if I get 2% in London, 2% in New York, and the next day I get 2% in London, whole time I'm messing up my sleep schedule. I have no energy. I'm studying for school, I'm working and all this and that. So this notion that trading more is better is couldn't be any farther from the truth. Like one trade a week. Some people swing trade one trade a month, one trade every few weeks, and they're doing amazing. So yeah, that's crucial. Shai said, I often take losses due to my emotions, rarely because of a bad analysis. For example, taking trades that weren't in my plan, or even worse, during news events. So frustrating. Do you have any advices for controlling emotions?
I think a good way of controlling your emotions is your self talk within the trade. So what I do is I did this morning. I put myself in the trade before I push the button and have full acceptance of what will happen, and I accept the risk. I totally like I kind of sit on my hands after I place the trade. Unless it's like I'm going to move it to break even and stuff like that. But I put myself in the mind frame of being like, okay, if this hits TP, it hits TP, and I'm done. If it doesn't, I'm done. And I'm just telling myself this is what will happen one in steps like 1, 2, 3, and that's it. I have to put myself into a sequence of knowing what will happen and how I'm going to control my emotions. And it's difficult because I didn't, I wasn't able to do this for months and months until I just finally said, you know what? I really have to tell myself how to act and get over myself and just be okay with the result. Like, I can't control the market, I can control myself, and it makes me more comfortable in the trade.
That's good. Self-talk. That's the first one I've heard. That's good. Talking yourself through a trade. We always talk about like discipline and things you do before you get into a trade, but once you press that button, especially if you're trading like a live account, that's a whole nother, like we all know the difference between back testing, paper trading, and then actually trading a live account or a funded account. Like that pressure is taken to a whole nother level, and the emotions you feel when you press that button and you see your P&L, or if you have ticks, you see your drawdown and you're taking that heat. That's real. Amanda, do you have any suggestions on how to control your emotions when you're trading?
Um, so I know she asked if I was journaling my emotions. So I would hope that she's journaling her emotions. I have a video where I sort of do like a journaling activity with the Mental Game of Trading book, and um, I think that could help her. Basically, so you'll I know Colton was talking about like in the actual trade what you're thinking or like right before. But I realized for me, a lot of the emotions was that self-work that I was talking about. So you're sort of asking yourself, like, why are you forcing these trades? Or why, at least for myself, why are you so desperate to make this much money? Or why are why are you going into news events trying to YOLO all your money on, why do you need it now? So I found that a lot of that was insecurities of mine, of self-worth, measuring my worth or success by a trade. Because they say, like, you ask yourself, okay, what did that loss mean? And normally it should just mean, oh, I lost $250, your stop loss. But for me, it was something deeper. It was, oh, I'm a failed trader. I'm never going to be successful. Or, so that's like one aspect, the self work stuff. But another thing was that I realized I would wake up sometimes tired, like dealing with personal stuff, and I would try to rush and get my trades in because I'm like, oh, like I'm tired, I want to go back to sleep. But that mentality is not good for trading. You need to be locked in. So I think just checking your emotions there, like not necessarily like in that moment, but did I have an argument with my partner yesterday that is still on my mind? Did I stay up like partying or something and I'm like not mentally clear? So just like that stuff will also help, I think. So it's just journaling and sort of like what mindset were you in? What are you dealing with? And then like the deeper self-work stuff. But I think yeah, I have a video that sort of shows it, the like writing it out. If she really likes writing, if journaling is for you, then that video will give you a little bit more of, you'll basically figure out your triggers, and you'll see like, okay, removing my stop loss was something that I'm like, oh, that's a sign, like maybe I should stop trading for the day. Like, oh, I took on that trade, I removed my stop loss. Or if I sizing up, like more than what I normally, then okay, that's like a sign that I need to like pull back. Or you just start to figure out like what these are before you go into a full spiral, full tilt. So yeah, hope that helps.
That's good. And we're approaching on an hour, so we're gonna slowly start wrapping this up. Everybody listening, if there's any questions or comments that you want to, address, that just type that below. But Shy also asked, do you think it's because she's not confident about her trading? Do you think that's, one of the reasons, or does that play any role as to why she's battling, emotions or trading during news and things like that?
Um, I would say if you said that your trades are not failing because of analysis, then it's not. But that's also something that you need to ask yourself as well, you know. Like for me, I thought I knew like, okay, my trading strategy is 2022 mentorship, right? I thought, yeah, that's it, you know. But I realized, okay, what is my winning setup? Okay, there has to be a 15-minute liquidity sweep, right? It has to shift market structure on, let's say, the 5-minute, not on the 1 minute. And then there has to be like a fair value gap on, let's say, 2 or 1 minute. And then like there's so many more steps, and you should be very clear on what those A plus setups look like, I think. So if you can answer those questions, then I think your analysis is fine. And it's more so an emotional, like personal thing that you need to deal with. But yeah, you sort of just have to ask yourself that. I don't know. I haven't seen any of her trades. I haven't, you know. And I think trading is just, you have to hold yourself accountable and be honest with yourself, because if you're not, you're not gonna get to the root of the problem.
Yeah. Trading is just like solo. It's just you. I mean, we have a community, we have, social media and people who, support us and watch us. But as far as pushing the button and managing, your emotions and journaling, like you said, um, the books, reading, about psychology and all that can definitely help. But Shy, her technical analysis, I think, is solid. I think it's more of just a psychology thing, FOMO. Like we've had a couple of days, the past few weeks, where Nasdaq has just like ran and ripped, and like I wasn't in the move. I'm like, dang,
Oh yeah.
like you probably know, like it hurts. Like even if
Yesterday was wild.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, you can see it coming. Like you understand how you're feeling in real time. Like you can feel the FOMO creeping in. You can feel like, all right, NASDAQ looking like it's about to run. I'm not in this trade. You have your levels. It looks like it can go here. It looks like it can go here. And you're not in it, and you're just watching it take off. And then that's when like the battle with yourself starts. You start seeing other people, oh, I'm in this trade. I'm long. I took profits. I just made 50,000. I just made 2,000 on this trade going long. And you're just on the sidelines watching it rip, and everybody's getting funded. And it's just like I trust my technical, analysis, my trading skills, but obviously I'm human, so I still feel those emotions when I may miss a move. I may have that urge to jump in a trade because I know where it's going to go. I'm not in it, and I know other people are in it. They're making money, which is great. But FOMO and that one-on-one battle with yourself in trading, it's so like crucial to success. It's not even. It's crazy. That can be like a whole another hour discussion. But just want to end it on like, do you have any goals, or what's next for you? So I know you said, eventually you want to become a full-time trader. I believe like we're all working towards that. That's a great goal to have. I'm working towards that as well. So besides being a full-time trader, is there anything else that you're working towards? Maybe like YouTube, or just other career-wise, or anything you got going on?
Main thing is just payouts and being a profitable trader. And then, like I said, I do want to try to find a balance between trading and social media, because I did really enjoy it. And like, even this was so fun, like being able to talk to everyone here, and just sharing and hearing other people's experiences as well. So I do want to find some balance with that. Maybe not YouTube, maybe Twitter or TikTok, Instagram, something like that. Maybe something that's a little bit more easy, like short form, or a lot faster. Like I've been using the community tab on YouTube just because it's like I can just send out a little message real quick. But yeah, I mean, I just want profitability. And then, like I said, I want to continue the self journey that I'm on. I want to go travel and live my life. And I mean, I do want to live like that lifestyle for a bit and then settle down. So yeah, I think just focusing on trading is the main thing. Just lock in and then the money will come.
Absolutely. Well, I'm thinking everybody's good on questions. Thank you again so much. I know you didn't have to come on here. You're our first guest speaker in the Discord, so it's very exciting. I reached out. It was kind of last
Thanks.
minute. The theme of the week has kind of been, focusing on yourself and psychology, social media, things of that sort. And there's no better person to have on than, you coming on, taking a break from YouTube, getting a payout, doing your thing off camera. So appreciate you again. Thank you so much for coming on. I enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody else enjoyed it just as much as I did. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody tuning in. Thank you, Miss Amanda,
Yeah,
again. We really appreciate it. It was fun. Hopefully, we can have you on back again soon.
go touch grass. I'm gonna go to the gym.
For sure. For sure. But thank
Yeah.
you. Best of luck to you in trading. We're all in this together.
Thank
I feel
you.
like we're all trying to become a full-time trader, and best of luck to you. Please reach out if you need anything. You have a community here. We all love to hear from you, see what you got going on. Again,
Thank
her
you.
YouTube channel is in the chat room. Subscribe to her, check her out. She has great content on there. Thank you again for joining. It's been fun.
Bye.
Have a good one. Have a great rest of your weekend. All right. I'll see you guys in the market on Monday for a free stream. All right. Love you. Tuesday. Tuesday. My bad. All right. Love y'all. Peace.